Be the right club. Be the right club today.
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most.
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up live show, happy hour edition, Open Championship Week, presented by our friends at FanDuel. Solly here, Mr. DJ Pie is here. Hello, Pie Man.
Greetings, guys. One more day, and then we're in the final sprint of major season here. What a year it's been.
I think we did a good job of not overdosing on the early part of this week. The frothing is high. I'm very, very, very excited for tomorrow morning. I know another guy who's very, very, very excited. And I know who he's going to pick already, even though that's supposed to be some of the suspense of this show. That's Mr. TC. Hello, TC.
Hello. Yeah, I'm starving myself a little bit. I'm fasting on content this week. I'm trying not to wear myself out before we get to Thursday morning. I just want to wake up tomorrow morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock and just be ready to rock and not like, I feel like at Oakmont, I wore myself out by the time we got to about this time on Wednesday afternoon.
Well, this is the No Laying Up Happy Hour presented by FanDuel. Big week on the golf calendar. We got links golf, unpredictable conditions, and some of the best in the world chasing history. In FanDuel, they've got you covered every step of the way. All customers can get a profit boost every round of the British Major. Plus, before the action starts tomorrow, you can also grab a profit boost on any top 5, top 10, or top 20 bet. And of course, keep an eye out. The No Laying Up specials are live in the app all week long. FanDuel's got all the ways to play outrights, head-to-heads, first, round leaders, props, live bets, you name it. Head to FanDuel.com/NLU to download America's #1 sportsbook and tee off in the final major of the year. Of course, we'll get into all of our picks here later in the show. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rg-help.com. Gosh, I had it.
It's major championships, so you can't expect to go bogey free, man. It's just about limiting mistakes, not compounding.
Good point. That's a really good point.
And I thought you steadied yourself and you got it back on the rails. But we got a delightful show today. I think we're gonna talk some big picture stuff. Of course, we're gonna look at the week. Got a couple news and notes, a little press conference action, a couple of things going on at Royal Portrush. We're gonna look at some tee times. We're gonna do a little Who Am I segment. I thought Scottie Scheffler was doing a little Who Am I segment in the press room this week, which I liked. But I got a good one dialed up for you. We're gonna try to stump you guys. I'm gonna give you some clues, and you're gonna have to guess who I'm talking about. TC, I think we're going to talk a little in-course OB. Of course, that's something that's going to be very prevalent on the first hole at Royal Portrush. And then, of course, we're going to get into our FanDuel segment, one and done picks, who's going to win, who's not going to win, other plays you like, all kinds of things like that. But let's start at the top. TC, I'm going to start with you. The question is this: what has you most excited for this week?
Tommy. End of story.
Expound, please.
I think I picked him for this like 2 years ago. It's like, hey, like he's gonna win a Portrush, and I have not wavered from that. And I think we're finally here, and everybody else is picking him at this point too. It's hot in the streets right now. Which, am I concerned by that? I'm not concerned by that. It has no bearing on our process. Me, Tommy, Finno, Frankie, Claire, the whole squad. Butch Harmon
doing its hardest. We know that.
Exactly. So, I'm very, very excited. And listen, I've never been in Northern Ireland before. I hope that changes at some point this week.
TC's like when they announce these majors just 6-7 years in advance, and there's so many logistics that have to go into it. He's got to work with bus vendors. He's got to work with porta potty vendor. He's been doing all that stuff for the last 2 years, just stacking up, getting ready for this Tommy one. And now everybody's showing up for the party, and what a glorious week it's going to be for you.
Although, I mean, DJ, I am a little bit worried about some of the price gouging going on over Portrush.
Did you guys see that?
It was tough.
They put it down. The people put a revolution.
Barely. A little bit.
They met him in the middle. I think they went from 7 or 8 pounds to 17 pounds, and they're down at 13 or 14 pounds now.
For those like the Harbor Bar the restaurant group.
Yeah, I forget what it is. The Rathmore group or something like that, I believe. There's it's kind of one
Raymore.
That's what it is. That's what it is. There's one kind of like compound in Portrush where it's like a lot of the bars and restaurants are all kind of consolidated under this sort of like kind of one roof, kind of one building ish, but it's just like a big Lego set that like they keep adding on to. And yeah, that's where it's got a lot of great options in there, but it sounds like they were gouging prices, doubling prices for a simple chicken burger, things of that nature. And yeah, the media got into them. And I mean, that's kind of, you know what, I'm going to weirdly twist this in. It's kind of like the extent of the controversy we've had, though. You know, this isn't like a US Open week. This isn't even like a Masters week where it's just like people are kind of frothing to,
and what Xander's dad,
everything. Yeah, it's kind of just, it's been a seemingly pretty mild-mannered week.
On the opposite, Scottie's just like, why are we doing this? Like, why do we play this game? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Like,
we're going to get to that. I'll just jump in there because that was the thing that I'm most excited for this week was Scottie's just monologue. It was like something from The Bear that he just all of a sudden uncorks. It's like 6 minutes of monologuing in the press center about why professional golf is not a fulfilling lifestyle and how fleeting success is. And I'm not here to inspire the next generation. And all of this makes it sound like I'm
not a role model.
Yeah. All this makes it sound like I'm downplaying this or kind of backhanding this. I thought it was awesome. I truly don't know the last time, if ever, I've heard a golfer talk like this. I feel like Rory's gotten a lot of, oh my God, he's such a normal guy in the press room. I don't think we've ever heard Rory anywhere close to that. I don't. What were your guys' main takeaways from this kind of Scottie monologue?
That it's wild that the guy that wins the most is the one that has landed on this spot. Like how talking about the fleeting feeling of winning, how it lasts for a couple minutes, and then maybe that is why he can relate to this that much. But I was kind of like, man, for some of these guys out there that don't win nearly as much as you. This might have been a little bit punchable of like, all right, dude, like you win all of these tournaments and, I'm sitting here just trying to scrap out one a year maybe. And you're talking about how fleeting that feeling is and everything. But he does sound like somebody who has reached the mountaintop and doesn't know exactly what to do from here. And I don't know if that's like an indictment of any kind. I think I appreciated the insight into the process and into the thinking and everything. And I think he's just kind of struggling with how does golf and your career fit into your life? Like, I think if you were to ask him like, hey, would you rather like not do this and just do dad and husband stuff like 100% of the time? Like, dude, you might look for something else that's a little bit more fulfilling in your life. And do you want to only play golf and never see your family? Of course not. So he just seems like he's struggling maybe a little bit with the blend of those two things in his life, which is something I'm sure a lot of people in all careers struggle with. So I did appreciate kind of him laying this out there. And whatnot, but it's also like, yeah, what's the point of all this, dude? It's like you're an extremely competitive person, and like you are a champion at this sport, and you're going to do it. You've done incredible things, and you're going to continue to do incredible things, and there is value you're extracting out of this. Now, I'm not talking monetarily. Like this is part of who you are, is like beating other dudes' asses on the golf course, and it doesn't have to be that much more complicated than that.
Well, I think that's what I loved about it so much was that it was the push and pull between those two things, where he's talking about like, okay, he brought up the Byron Nelson, and he's like, man, this is the tournament I came to when I was a kid. All I've ever wanted to do is win my hometown tournament. This is something that is so cool. I cannot believe it happened. I teared up when it happened. And 5-10 minutes later, it was like, okay, what are we having for dinner? On to the next thing. And he on one hand is putting that in one box. And then on the other hand, in the same kind of monologue he's giving, is just like, man, I just love practicing though. I do. I love getting up for these things. I wish I could explain why I want to win so much, because when I do go out and win, I don't know, I'm left with this kind of empty feeling, but then the cycle starts over and I just want to do it again. And it was great, man. Again, it's like the kind of thing I feel like we're just begging these guys to have some introspection about, and to finally get it was just like, I don't know, that's going to make him more interesting for the rest of his career to me. But TC, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I loved it. I guess people had some problems with it. Like I thought it was very earnest and open and, just, yeah, I thought it was to be applauded. Certainly I had a friend that's sells software for a living. He's like, "Hey, Scottie, why don't you come sell some software? See if you like the process of that, or see how fulfilling the golf is, or whatever." So, no, but I think it goes to show you, like, the reward is in the work, right? The reward is in the process of getting there, and now for him, the process of staying there. I think some of the, Duval had kind of
Yeah.
said similar things of, "Hey, I won British Open, and then got on the flight home, and I was like, that was it. That was the whole thing." And I think with Scotty, some of that may be like the Byron Nelson stuff. Some of that may be just because it was TPC Craig Ranch,
Sure.
and it, and it's not a proper course or that sort of thing. But
Yeah, I can hear you on this one, Scotty. Like that should not have been a rewarding win.
yeah. Yeah, no, and he was talking a little bit as well about just travel and, hey, why don't you travel more to play golf? And he's like, "Hey, that's just not where I'm at right now in my life. Like, it doesn't work for me. I think the PGA Tour is the most competitive tour, and I think that, I don't have to travel all over the world to find the most competitive golf tournaments." Which, at some point, I hope that Scotty, when his kids are older, says, "You know what? No, I do want to go travel to Australia, or I do want to go travel, more to Europe and all of that." So I loved it. I'm all for thoughtful, earnest, introspective Scotty.
Last thing I'll say on this was, like, I think part of why he's been so successful is, like, present in that answer of, like, dude, a lot of people can say it. I truly don't think golf, like, runs his life. I just think he could be the same person if he was 10th, 15th, 20th ranked player in the world. Now, if he fell out of the top 100, I think he might, there would be some competitive juices flowing in a different way, but I don't think he lets it dominate the way he feels at the end of every day. Again, easy to say.
He said that too. He said, like, "Hey, if this starts affecting my relationship with my wife, like, I would just stop playing." Like, granted, that's easy for him to say. He's made a couple lifetimes worth of money, but at the end of the day, like, compare and contrast that with some of the other guys out there that, seem to be letting it affect a lot of things.
Well, or even compare and contrast it to Tiger, which I feel like was kind of the natural place that my mind went. I almost think, I don't know, we're getting into dangerous psychoanalysis territory, which is both totally unnecessary and also very fun. But it's I think the reason you never heard Tiger say something like this is because it was constantly just 18 majors. That's it. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. And I just don't think anybody post Tiger has ever thought that, because it's just so impossible to even wrap your head around trying to get to 18, 19. Right. And so in a way, it's almost like you see guys hit these plateaus that are more attainable than what Tiger was chasing after. And I almost wonder if I don't know, you kind of, something has to shift when you become kind of the dog that catches the car. But then we also saw what happened to Tiger when, you don't ever catch the car. And I don't know if that was necessarily the right way to go about it either. So fascinating stuff. But I think the other end of it sorry.
Tiger wise, I think Tiger may have, he may have said, "Hey, if my marriage starts to affect my golf, we're going to," like, that's kind of the like, we're looking at the same thing from two different sides of the equation here.
Exactly. Well, and then that kind of brings me to the other point, which is also hearing this, I'm like, man, this guy could go out and win 10 more majors. Like, who knows? Or he could retire when he's 32 and just, like, I could see both of those are, like, equally plausible to me right now, which is captivating. I have no idea which bet I would place right now. It's like either he's like 32 and he's going to coach Little League and we're not going to hear from him again, or he's just going to, hit the afterburners and keep doing what he's doing. So I don't know if you guys had any kind of takeaways like that. Did it change your outlook on his career at all?
Not necessarily. I think it, again, just kind of was like, feels like his head is, despite it being a pretty big journey of an answer, just seems like that, again, that was the takeaway I had from, like, spending a couple of hours with him 2 years ago, which is like, dude, I don't know if I could design a better, like, golf mind in a lab of just the stuff that he lets slide off his back and how good he knows he can be and how he's trained himself. Like, I don't know. And just kind of where golf ranks in his life, it just seems like he's set to really do some massive damage.
It's not just ego protection, I don't think. Like I hear that, I see that. It's certainly there's some of that maybe baked in, just how he handles disappointments or failure or a frustrating round. But it seems genuine. And it seems like it runs a lot deeper than just, hey, I'm fulfilled. I'm not fulfilled by what the score on the card is.
Yeah. Solly, what about you? I same question I asked Tron. What's got you most excited for the week?
It's evolved as the week has gone on, and I did not expect this to be the answer. If you'd asked me this Monday, but I'm really keen for this Rory, the Rory emotional experience of this week, returning to where the meltdown happened in 2019, and kind of the run he had at making the cut, and what he experienced from the crowd, and the emotions that go with that. Every picture I've seen, all the videos I've seen of just how deep and how stacked the crowds are around him during a practice round. Like, this is, maybe is this going to happen one more time in his career? Maybe two more times in his career, like getting to play an Open Championship at Portrush in his home country. It's just going to be, it can't sneak up on him this time. He's got to know how much is riding on this from, especially being the Grand Slam champion, being the current green jacket holder. It's just going to be from the jump a massive, massive experience one way or another. Like, if he bottomed out and missed the cut again, it wouldn't surprise me. And if he won the thing, it wouldn't surprise. The only thing that would surprise me is something in the middle of just a weirdly non-competitive week. But I can't wait to find out what happens, and I don't have any gut feel as to what that's going to be.
It's some interesting quotes I think that I read, just kind of interspersed into other pieces and columns I was reading, mostly about the Scottie stuff, honestly. But he was talking about returning back and what he did last time and how he approached it. And I think I'm paraphrasing, but the quote was basically like, I kind of walled myself in. I put these big walls up. I didn't let anybody else in, and I just was trying to stay in my own bubble. And then as soon as that happened, I just kind of, basically freaked out, and like moment got way too big. 79 on the first day, everybody kind of remembers what happened. And he sounded like this time he's like gonna go the totally opposite direction, where it's like, let people in. This is kind of the everybody's here to see me. It's a cool thing for them to see me come back to this place. It's a cool thing for them to watch me play golf. Like, I need to just accept that and be okay with that, because that's not changing, that's not going away. And I think if you try to avoid it, it's it's just going to kind of suffocate them like it did last time. So who knows what that means, Solly? I'm with you. Like, I don't know if that comes naturally to him to be that kind of like gregarious returning champion type of person, but it's kind of it's fascinating to watch. Can't wait to see what happens.
I feel weird just like emotionally too, of like, this is the biggest not the first major we've seen him since the heel turn, but I feel way more conflicted emotionally, like rooting for him this go around than I did even as of April. I don't know if that's fair or not, but just kind of the way things have gone over the last several months. And I hate to distill it down to like, you won't talk to the media, so no, I'm not rooting for him. It's just kind of like, no, you just kind of were a dick for unnecessarily for the last several months. And it has soured how I feel when I watch you play golf, which sucks. And I don't think I'm alone in that boat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That said, I don't want to seem like a pushover here, but like, man, if he gets in contention, and
I know
every single person in Northern Ireland's just like willing him to victory, it's gonna be pretty hard to be like, yeah, but he peeled out at Pinehurst.
He did, though.
People forget that.
Contrast that with the Wimbledon speeches last week.
What is your outlook? What's your, if you had to place your bets, or do you want to wait? I don't know what your plays are this week.
He's not in any plays of mine later. I'll spoil that.
But says it all a little bit, right?
I would think he's going to top 10. I think he's going to be involved in some way. I would be surprised if he won. I think it's just too big of a mountain to climb. But I would think a top 10 is a very reasonable expectation. The field, I mean, have you gone through the field list of it, like in an Open? Like it gets pretty bleak pretty quickly. It's pretty thin. Yeah. I don't know if that's just the year. Or
there's a lot of proper players too. They got like Foxy, good links player, knows how to get the ball.
It truly could be the problem is they let too many of TC's proper players in. I think that's going to allow the cream to rise.
I've got Rory in a couple of I've got like 12 different FanDuel fantasy entries. I've got Rory in a couple of them. Just a little like kind of a
Is that a
contra play.
Is that a market hedge or is that a confidence?
More of a market
confidence
hedge
play?
than anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, trying to level out. So.
Sure.
Deej, before we get into any other news and notes, I want to give a shout out to our friends at Rowback, our go-to for polos, hoodies, like this one right here, joggers, shorts, pants, all of it. Best fit, best feel, simple as that. Can I get my shorts in there? These orange shorts? This might not be appropriate to do, but these are the
we've tried that already this year. We're okay. We believe you on the shorts.
Okay, but the everyday shorts are awesome. Just
they're surprisingly flesh-colored shorts there. I didn't know what you were going for.
Oh, I forgot to have the shorts on. Damn it. I had them on earlier.
Sally, I've got the Old Bay collab.
Yeah, that looks so
on
good
right now. Feeling a little crabby today.
No one else is doing that, TC.
Yeah.
They got the best design, best print polos. The creativity behind the designs is one of our favorite parts, and there's always a story behind it. Makes it relatable, easy to wear. Conversation starter, like the one TC is wearing right there. Also the Delta Looper shorts. Wore those yesterday, as I promised that I would when TC went out and TC and I went out and played. Got a lot of compliments on those. They're just fantastic. They're back in stock. They're light, stretchy, very comfortable. Great waistband. I just kept complimenting them over and over and over. Where are those shorts from, Sally? If your summer fit needs a refresh, now's the time. Head to rowback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use code NLU at checkout for 20% off your first order through the end of this week. That's RHOBACK.com. Print polos, shorts, hoodies. Rowback's got you covered.
Let's get into a couple of news and notes. I think notably Mark Darbin, first press conference, first kind of like big at least Open Championship press conference is the new head of the RNA. A couple notable items. These were very usefully rounded up by our friend Jeff Shackelford. As always, people should go subscribe to his newsletter, The Quadrilateral.
The quadrilateral.
The quad. A couple of topics that Jeff kind of rounded up here. Conversations with Turnberry and Muirfield still very much ongoing. I think Darbin very understandably is pretty light on specifics. He's just kind of still getting into the job, so it was not a lot of announcements as much as it was kind of a look for an announcement maybe later this year type of stuff.
But good answers despite like not being able to speak definitively on them. I was like, oh, that feels like a proper update. Okay, for Turnberry, we need to do that. Okay, that's interesting.
On that note, at Turnberry, quote, "We love the golf course." They have not hosted, I guess, since Tom Watson, right? Is that the last time?
Yes.
Yeah. We love the golf course. We've got
really
Stu
Sink.
Or some would say Stuart Sink.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's what people will definitely remember about that one. We love the golf course. We've got some big logistical challenges there. You see the scale of their setup here, talking about Royal Portrush. We've got some work to do on the road, rail, and accommodation infrastructure around Turnberry. We've explicitly not taken it out of our pool of venues, but we need to address those logistical challenges should we return. Something very similar said about Muirfield, which is not hosted since 2013, is not on the docket to host. Quote, "We're in a discussion with that venue right now. There's some things that that need to evolve at Muirfield. The practice ground in particular is a challenge for us with a modern open. Some work we need to do to the venue to facilitate some of the infrastructure that we require, some cabling to enable the scale of the production that we have these days. But it's a good dialogue, and we'd love to be back there in the future."
He did say bigger is not better. Like they're after better as well. So it wasn't just like, hey, we need massive stuff.
Yes, but there are it's a sweet spot, right? Because there are realities where you do have to hit a certain baseline just to even be able to do it in the first place. But the purse this year at the Open is staying the same. It's got to be the first purse that's stayed flat year over year in a while that I can remember. It is still up 60% from 2019. So I don't, TC, maybe your friend, the software salesman, I think put that in the another arrow in the quiver for Scottie there. I don't know how many people are getting 60% raises.
I mean, Scottie can say prices of bricks going up though.
That's true. That's true. Last thing he also kind of just said, expect to have a clearer picture of the feasibility of Port Marnock by the end of the year. Sounds like they're deep in the feasibility studies right now. Can we actually do this? Can we not? Nothing but good things to say about that process, but still nothing official there as far as taking the Open to.
I still remember when some of the Irish just sent some of the nastiest emails.
That was a must credit
when we initially floated that 3-4 years ago, or probably 2-3 years ago now, of oh, like how dare you? They will not, or like Brits say, and it's like not like I'm just reporting what I've heard. Okay,
It's not my decision. I'm not on the committee.
I'd be stunned if it got this far along and they didn't go there.
Kind of where I'm at.
I mean,
too.
there's changes made to the golf course, and if
Money
that bridge
doubling.
isn't a deal breaker as of now, then it's probably not a deal breaker. And access to the golf course and whatnot is what I saw to be the biggest challenges. But it will be very interesting. I think it will officially retire our ability to call it the British Open.
It's true. A couple other things. The ninth hole at Royal Portrush. This was kind of looked like a cool ceremony. Renamed Darren Clark's. What used to be called Tavern is the ninth hole is now going to be called Darren Clark's in honor of the 2011 Open champion, Portrush's own, I believe, Darren Clark. And they also renamed the seventh hole on the Valley after GMAC, another Portrush guy. So it looked like a cool ceremony there. But anything else kind of like news and notes wise you guys saw, or you want to get into some tee times?
Tee times, weather, and wave split, I think, is kind of where, going into handicap and how all that's going to play out is kind of where most of my attention's at right now. I don't know what your models are saying, TC.
My mom, I'm just going off of the Met office over there. They don't seem to be willing to stick their neck out.
A lot of low confidence reports,
especially for the weekend. Yeah, exactly. They're saying, it sounds like it might be a real soaker tomorrow, tomorrow morning, and then Friday looks brighter and drier. And Saturday, very low confidence. So, but Solid, to your point, it does look like the wave split could favor the late early lads.
Favor the late early lads. I thought it was the opposite because it's more wind tomorrow afternoon and there's wind Friday morning as well.
Friday morning. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I thought
it's low confidence all across the board.
Right. It's one of those things where like I hate even looking at forecasts of these tournaments, especially like the northern part of Northern Ireland. Like it's really hard to predict. But yeah, sustained winds for tomorrow afternoon had me like second guessing the winner's pick, and I didn't want to overreact to any of that, so it didn't really change anything. But and some of the DFS stuff I'm going to do, I might have to look into that a little bit closer.
Wow. It's kind of the ultimate big Randy. Like I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be fun to see what happens though. It'll be fun to find out. I think that might be the weather over there.
Some people are also saying the Met office storms. Bunch of fluffers.
Hadn't heard that.
Possible storms tomorrow afternoon too. So that plus wind can make for So there's a type of rain that makes it easier, and there's a type of rain that makes it harder. And wind, a possibility of gusts up to 33 miles an hour in the afternoon plus a storm. Yikes! And if you look at it, the PM AM wave includes like Tyrrell Hatton, Bryson, Spieth, Ludwig, Hovland, Rory, JT, Fleetwood. Some of the other feature names that are on the other side of the draw would, I think, as of now, would be the easier side, would be Koepka, Xander, Rahm, Colin, and Scottie. So
there you go.
The European model is showing like winds not crazy. Rain kind of peaking around 5 p.m. and then into the evening tomorrow. And then it's showing, let's see, Friday morning, pretty dry, and then Friday afternoon, more moisture heading in. So we'll see. The wind is all over the place, though, like every direction, which I love.
Yeah, and then you also like you couple that with the routing, which kind of goes in every direction as well. It's could be chaotic out there, which we like. As far as actual groups and pairings, that sort of thing, Padraig Harrington's going to be hitting the first tee shot at 6:35 a.m. I believe Shackelford called that the uncivilized time of 6:35 a.m. Paired with Northern Irishman Tom McKibben, as well as TC's boy Nikolai Højgaard. I had just thought this was interesting. Maybe it's just in comparison to the Masters, which always treats their past champions like kind of living legends. A lot of past champions just did weird groups, particularly the live guys. Louis Oosthuizen with Guido Migliozzi and KJ Choi, Cam Smith, who just won at the Old Course a couple of years ago with Marco Pinge and Justin Hastings, which I guess is, I don't know. I guess that's a amateur play, I guess. But Phil is playing with Daniel Von Tonder and Ryan Peake. Again, just guys like one of the legends of the game. It's just interesting. Henrik Stenson with Steven Yeager and Sebastian Soderberg. Again, one of the best performances ever. But when you get to like the big dogs, we've got Xander, the defending champ, playing with JJ Spawn and John Rahm. Shane Lowry, your defending champ at Royal Portrush, playing with Morikawa and Scheffler. Would love to watch that group. That sounds very fun. Russell Henley playing with Tyrrell Hatton and Minwoo Lee. I think Henley might be kind of the calm in the storm there, playing with those, Hatton from a personality perspective and Minwoo Lee from a just golf game perspective.
Minwoo keeps getting fluffed.
He's always in these featured groups, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's kind of my point is like, some of the other guys like won the Open. Like Phil, Phil win about 900 golf tournaments. He's played with Daniel Von Tonder. Like, come on, man. Anyways, Bobby Mack, TC, your guy, playing with Bryson and Team Rose. That's an electric pairing. I love that. Spieth, Ludwig, and Hovland is very fun, enjoyable stuff there. And then I'm curious, for your Fleetwood pick, Fleetwood is paired with Rory and JT. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind it at all. I think it may be a little stolen valor from JT there, given that he hasn't ever
The
really
two-time major champion is the stolen
JT.
valor.
No,
Tommy.
I think in an Open, yeah, he has never done anything in an Open. What has he done to deserve that in an Open? He's a plumber or a fireman or a roofer by Open standards.
Anything else stick out to you guys? Tea times, or you want to get into this Who Am I segment?
Who is P? Who is P's playing partners?
Oh, good question. Cody, who do we got? Patrick Reed with Nico Echeverria and Denny McCarthy.
Wow.
That feels totally fair. I feel like that's a totally fair pairing. Honestly,
Okay.
like I think he's getting more shine than some of those past champs. But we can take that offline.
The Blood Pig, Corey Connors, and Hoagie. Hoagie's a sleeper this week. Mark my words.
I like
like
that.
a top 10, top
400 to 1 to win. I think he was.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's not gone great.
God,
It's not a signature event either, TC. So I don't know.
It is a big purse though. Who knows? All right, guys, we're gonna get into this Who Am I segment. Here's what I did. I picked 10 players. I am gonna show you guys their data golf kind of scatter plot, what they do well, what they don't do well. I'm going to say I'm making up the rules as I go here. I think you get one guess. So you need to be sure before you really make a guess here. But obviously the fewer clues you can do it on, the more impressive it would be. Okay. Some of these clues are obviously going to be there to kind of try to throw you for a little bit of a loop, but some of these are going to be pretty obvious. I think it's a good mix of obvious guys and not so obvious guys. So Cody, if we may, the first player, please. If you're looking at this on, or if you're listening on the podcast, we've got a guy who drives the ball exceptionally straight, hits the irons great, does everything else pretty average. You're welcome to make a guess on this first one. Otherwise, I can give you a couple clues.
Colin Morikawa.
Jesus, dude. That's right.
Well done.
That's well done. My clues were going to be, he has a brother named Garrett. Had never heard of Garrett Morikawa. I thought that was going to throw you guys off, but I didn't even get there. Yeah, that is exactly who that is, TC. Colin Morikawa. Here's a couple stats I dug up here. I was going to tell you, over the first 3 months of the season, I was number 1 in the world in strokes gained. And since April 1st, I am number 39.
Whoa.
That is how, that was pretty jarring. I'm an Open champion, did not play the 2019 Open at Royal Portrush. This will be his debut there. And the Data Golf Course Fit tool rates him as the best course fit of anybody in the field this week at Royal Portrush.
And he's a potential malcontent.
But
he's learning how to play like Seve.
For reference sake,
great, man.
For listeners' sake, for like the course fit, it gives you like a tenth of a decimal point boost. Like it's not blinking radar. This is Colin Morikawa's golf course. It's just like his skill profile gets the biggest boost, which is kind of in a homogenous group with a lot of guys that just drive it accurately. So it's not just noting that.
All right, player number 2. I'm going to just hit you guys with some clues here, so I get to use some of this research before you guys just guess them all based on the scatter plot. Last season, I ranked 174th in strokes gained putting. This year, I am 14th.
Justin Thomas.
You guys are way too good at this. This is I don't know why I spent all this time digging up stats. Justin Thomas is correct. Good one here, I thought. If you're going by everybody's last 50 rounds at the majors, JT is 78th in strokes gained. If you're going by everybody's last 50 rounds at the non-majors, JT is second in the world in strokes gained. That's how much disparity there's been between the majors and non-majors.
Guy just needs to be a mule.
Last clue was going to be two-time major champion who has never top 10 at the Open, to your earlier point, TC.
And it is I think it was, we used to make fun of him for this like 6-7 years ago about how he does always get the bad side of the draw in the Open. And like ever since we've tracked it, he literally, I think, does get the bad side, and he's scheduled for this PM AM wave. As much as I would love to give him shit for that, it does seem to continue to happen to him, and it's kind of hilarious at this point.
And both of his majors are PGAs.
That's true.
Correct. One's at a real golf course, though. You must admit, Southern Hills.
True.
Player number 3, Cody. Hopefully these get a little tougher here. This is a little bit of a misshapen shape here if you're listening on the podcast. Very accurate driver, great iron player, great chipper, great putter, just giving up some distance off the tee. I don't know if TC's officially guessing P, but it is not.
I don't know if P's that accurate off the tee.
He's definitely not. So
he's definitely not. He's in the DJ Pie school of not long and not accurate.
It's a bad quadrant to be in.
Bad quadrant. This player, since 2013, I have played every Open Championship except the 2019 Open at Portrush. Kind of a very strange outlier there.
Older player.
Denny McCarthy.
It is not Denny McCarthy. This player is 36 years old. I have finished in the top 10 in each of my last 3 starts on the PGA Tour.
Is it Russ Henley?
It is Russ Henley.
Whoa.
That is correct. That is correct. Finished 5th at the Open last year. I mean, this is just straight up, man. No way to twist this. Based on strokes gained over the last 12 months, I'm the 3rd best American golfer. Like, he's playing really, 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 really good golf, man.
That's what I was like, just trying to do the math on like who is like literally a top 10 player in the world, but is not a long driver. Like I was Hatton or Henley. Yeah, sheesh, man, that's impressive.
Henley is playing very good over the last 30 days. Number 1 in the world in strokes gained as well. Player number 4. I think you guys are gonna get this one. Unbelievable iron player, above average driving distance, above average driving accuracy, slightly below average chipping, and a nice putter. TC is disqualified, or not disqualified, but you're wrong. It's not Ludwig.
Is this Thomas Fleetwood?
Not Tommy Fleetwood. I got you guys on one. Wow. Finally. This player is 27 years old. They were the first player from their country to compete in the Masters tournament. Over the past 6 months, only Scottie Scheffler has gained more strokes on approach play than this person.
Is this Sepp Straka?
It is not Sepp Straka.
Is this Joaquin Neiman?
It is not Joaquin Neiman. My strokes gained approach numbers this year are the highest they have ever been in my career. In fact, they're almost 20% higher than my previous best. It is Victor Hovland. Just pretty crazy.
God, he's eating.
Absolutely striking the golf ball. However, I thought this was interesting across 2023 and 2024. Across those two full seasons, I had only 2 tournaments with a negative strokes gained off the tee. This year I've had 6. Not driving it good. But he's got his 1 win at where is that? Innisbrook, and 1 other top 10 this year. That's it. So career year with the irons, and it is just not great as far as the results go, but something to monitor.
He's had some good interviews this week too.
Definitely. God, the thing about the grill.
Always a good quote.
How good was that? He's talking about all the material things. He's like, I just don't have that many material things to buy. I got like a really great blender. I got a new grill for cooking some steaks.
Shout out to father of the bride.
And he just spends his money on experiences. That's my kind of guy.
I love it. I think you get this one just based on the plot here. Cody, player number 5.
Bryson. No, it's not.
Oh, solid.
You just-
Tough. This player appears to be the longest human being on planet Earth. Cannot hit
Pocket
a fairway. Just about average approach play. Awful chipping and not great putting.
Potgieter is probably.
This is Aldrich Potgieter.
Yeah.
Who is a links? He's a links master. He won the amateur at Royal Lytham in St. Anne's. Worth mentioning. Second youngest player to ever win the amateur, behind me and Cody's guy.
That's
Matteo
really
Manassero.
interesting that he won there.
Right?
Yeah.
It's super
It
interesting.
is.
And
I guess he just hit a bunch of 3-irons.
I think so. Also, if I'm right here, I don't think he's even played a major since 2023. So a lot of this is going to be new. Don't know what we're going to get from Potgieter this week. We shall see. Player number 6. Very well balanced player who got the Pentagon going, above average and everything: driving distance, accuracy, approach, chipping, and putting. This player,
Ron J. Ham.
it is not Ron J. Ham. This player is about to turn 32 years old. In 11 starts, they have never missed the cut at the Open.
11 starts, 32.
And over the last 6 months, I have been the 9th best American player.
Links master?
It is Jordan Spieth.
Ooh.
Jordan Spieth, guys. Yeah, just a nice look there. I think for all the chaos that his game, typically brings with it, it's nice to see.
Get him on the team.
Balance in the game. Get him on the team. That's right. Get him to Bethpage.
Guess my name's got to be Jordan Spieth to make this game, huh?
All right, we'll start moving through these quickly. So I know we got a hard out at the top of the hour here. Player number 7, Cody. Another well-balanced player, absolute ball striker, chips his face off.
Ball striking Jesse.
Drives it straight, just a hair below average in driving distance, and a couple ticks above average in putting. This player is 34 years old.
Tommy
Fleetwood. Over the last 25 starts, I've only finished outside the top 25 4 times. 3 top 10s at the Open in my last 5 starts. And like almost having the best strokes gained career or like season of his career.
Give me goosebumps here, Deej.
His best ever was 2018. He was plus 1.84. This year he's at plus 1.8. Over the last 50 major championship rounds for everybody, Tommy has been the 7th best player in the world at almost plus 2 strokes gained clip. So TC, there's kind of no excuses. Is what I'm saying. I think we're pre-approved to do something this week, man.
Yeah, we could, gotta watch those waves. Gotta watch those wave splits. But
this was one I skipped here, but so going back to 2019, I have been positive strokes gained in every category every year.
It's amazing.
That's good ass golf.
There's not that many guys that fall. I'd be curious to see the full list of guys. I was looking at Rom's page earlier. Rom obviously checks the box here, but there's not a ton of guys.
Xander's probably close. I mean,
sure.
Scottie, actually probably not even Scottie because I'm sure he was negative in putting at some point.
Yeah, he was 2023. I think
not a lot of guys that do this. That's a good stat, if I may say. All right, a couple harder ones here. Player 8, Cody. This is a guy, as you can see, pretty average driving distance, accuracy, and approach. Chips it great and appears to be like the best putter on planet Earth. I have finished in the top 25 in 7 straight starts on the PGA Tour.
This is Denny McCarthy.
It is not Denny McCarthy. That's a good guess. He's 3rd on tour this year in strokes gained putting. I grew up at the same golf course where Long Jim Barnes learned the game. This was West Cornwall Golf Club. I don't know if you guys have ever been to West Cornwall, but I think that's maybe why he wears that outrageous hat.
Harry Hall?
Harry Hall is the answer.
Jesus.
That's a hard one.
Jesus.
That's a hard one. Played in 84 PGA Tour events. This is my first time ever playing the Open. So
Really?
Yeah, kind of a fun one for Harry Hall. Also, literally in his bio, just listed Peaky Blinders is one of his favorite shows, which kind of made me laugh. Player 9. There you go. Very
Wow.
balanced player. Does it all nice. Balanced game.
Patton.
This person has played the Open one time. It was 12 years ago. In 2013. That was their best finish ever at a major, T32. Played 218 PGA Tour events, stacking up to a career earning of
Brian
$12.5
Campbell.
million. No.
How much money?
$12.5 million.
Career
4
earning?
top 10s on the PGA Tour this year.
Only one Open championship.
218 tour events, 1 Open championship.
That is the definition of a mule right there.
4 top 10s on the PGA Tour this year. One of them in my hometown event. It's a hard one.
The Greater Milwaukee Open.
No, the my was it's a who am I situation.
Okay.
I have honestly no clue.
This is insane.
Can't believe you guys are counting this guy out.
Bud Cauley?
Bud Cauley. Bud Cauley is the answer.
He's been in a lot of my plays. He's a sleeper this week.
I thought I was gonna have to hit you with guys with the age old first player to play the junior players and the players. Maybe you'd have got it then. But
injury kind of saves him from some of the mule
for sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like playing opens, whatever, 12, 13 years apart that doesn't happen a lot. All right, last one. There's some good stuff here. Great straight driver of the golf ball, pretty average in just about everything else, little below average in putting. I am a major champion, but I have not top 10 at a major since I won one.
Brian Harmon.
Not Brian Harmon. That would be a good guess. He's a much better putter than that, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Currently the 467th ranked player in the world. This is one I'm very proud of, so I'm gonna go for it. The day I made my debut at the Open Championship, Tiger Woods beat me by 1, Gary Player beat me by 5, Jack Nicklaus beat me by 7.
Francesco
Henrik
Molinari.
Stenson?
Good guesses. For one stretch in my career, I finished top 10 at the Open in 6 out of 7 years.
Lee Westwood.
And good guess.
Oh no, yeah, he has won a major.
Stu Cink.
Not Stu Cink.
We broke the one guess rule here.
I am number 9 on the all-time list of data golf points. Finished top 10 at the Open 10 times.
Justin Rose?
No,
Can't believe you're forgetting this guy. Cody, one of Cody's Texas brethren.
Jimmy Walker?
Big Tex, Jimmy Walker?
Sergio Garcia.
The other Big Tex.
I just love that stat. The 1996 Open Championship just gets dusted by Jack and Gary Player in the first
I thought
round.
his approach play would be better.
Yeah.
That was what was throwing me off.
He's old, man. He's not that good anymore, unfortunately. But some good stuff there. Anyways, guys, that's the Who Am I segment. So there you have it.
That's fun. It puts your brain in a pretzel really quickly. I'm sure it looks very obvious when you're doing the answers. Like, how do you not get this guy? It's hard being in this seat, but
yeah,
it's hard being in the bright lights, bright lights, under the gun and under the sun. But man needs more sun.
Ooh.
And this is your formal invitation to spend less time behind your screens, more time outside with friends in the sun. Why? It's great for your physical and mental health. It makes us happier. Can happen on a golf course? Absolutely. TC, getting out from behind the desk yesterday, getting out to the golf course, it was freeing for the soul. First thing I did when we got to the golf course was I busted out the Oars and Alps. They make sunscreen for men. More specifically, they've got hardworking formulas that are good for your skin. They don't have the tropical scents. You don't smell like a pina colada. I was thinking about this when I was lathering up today. I've not once had like an accidental burn ever when using Oars and Alps. That is a testament to the spray radius. If you get a really good spray radius on a spray, your skin's going to get covered. It is very, very good for your health when you're going to spend some time in the sun. It's lightweight, non-greasy, non-sticky, doesn't give you a white cast or chalky residue. Easy to use, travel-friendly, easy to reapply on the go. They got sprays, mist, sticks, all that so your hands stay clean. Go get outside, get some sunshine. It's free. And with Oars and Alps, you can stay out as long as you want. Code NLU15. Get you 15% off Oars and Alps sun care and skin care today. NLU15 at oarsandalps.com.
Peggy Schuster bought some. She had a big box of it sitting there when we went to visit a couple weeks ago.
There you go. TC, talk to me a little bit about in-course OB. You know, we knew we're gonna see this on
Yeah.
number one. I know we wanted to take a little spin through the world of golf and just kind of put it in perspective. Is this a thing that happens? Let me put it this way: is this a thing that happens a lot? Is it a thing that should happen more or less? What's kind of your take?
I think I went into this thinking that it was going to be a deep dive of like, oh, here's 10 brilliant places where there's in-course OB. Not really the case. I consulted my consigliaries, Mr. Jeff Shackelford, Dr. Wolfie, things of that nature, and came up with just not a lot of great stuff. It was like, they were like, yeah, the house at Troon, Hoy Lake, this one at Portrush, Medina number 3, the fence that goes through the bunker there, and that new thing, which I contend is sweet. Saint Enodoc, designed by the great man James Braid, down in Cornwall, I believe. But overall, it's just something that doesn't happen all that often, especially as it's designed. Not just for tournaments. I think tournaments could beef this up. I tend to think some of the when somebody blows one into a TV compound over a fence, that should be OB, right? That should be but also just certain things. Like I guess this one was because they used to graze cows in this area, and that was why it was OB. So I went into it thinking that we were going to find a lot more examples of it, and there's just not. And it's something that I think we should have more of. It's a way to truly make these guys pucker a little bit and just make them think. Put the fear of God. It is a true stroke and distance penalty.
Yeah, we were saying it on the preview, and it's like there's some things that are probably evolution of the game related. There are some things that are equipment related. There are some things that are kind of venue related, but it is kind of one of the easiest tools you have in the toolbox at this point to really, like you said, make guys pucker a little bit and add some intrigue. The first hole at Royal Portrush, without it, I mean, it's very well bunkered, but a lot of that bunkering is like it plays so well because of the OB, and forcing you into one spot, and then you're changing clubs and you're maybe not as comfortable. And it's like,
it's your
kind of
first
this
hole
knock-on
of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So
there was some conjecture online that that Rory had hit both practice rounds this week. He'd hit an OB on one, then B, that the OB was not directly in play, or it was not close to the fairway, which is categorically false. Correct?
It's just like the way links golf plays, it is close. Like you get a ball moving that direction, even though there's rough there, like you get it moving that direction with wind, it is in play. It is absolutely in play. You get a ball curving like the wrong way a couple yards, and it is in play. And that's just like when we played it, I had 5-iron off the tee because I was scared of that OB, and we played the up tee. And then, so you get back farther to where these guys are playing from, and the way cones work, like it brings it even more in play. So it is absolutely in your head if you are playing this tournament when you start the day. Like it's 100%.
And
the other example I had was Pacific Grove.
Of course,
you can't blow it up the right one, and then there's
exactly
in-course OB on the next hole as well.
I don't know, man. I again, we kind of said this on the preview, but I'm shocked to hear this coming out of my mouth based on how I felt a couple years ago. But now I'm kind of just like, man, ramp it up. Like, I don't know. Let's think about where else we could put this in. I'm all for it, especially on a TV product, on a, like, we're truly trying to challenge kind of our guys.
You could sponsor
executing the intent or not. I think I don't know. I think there's room to do it. But
this is the in-course OB sponsored by Zurich Insurance. I mean,
where they got a ton of in-course OB, Solly, is Hollywood. Rory's home course. There was in-course OB all over the place. So who knows? Maybe that's why he tightened up.
Maybe he's traumatized from the childhood.
Exactly. All right, let's get into some picks. The time has come here. We're going to start. We've been running this one and done league all year. Sorry, for all of the majors and the big events. I am going to kick it off first with my one and done. I'm glad I still got this guy on the bench. I went hard on him in the preview. I'm going to continue to go to the well here. That's John Rahm. I love the way that this week sets up for him. I love the way this course sets up for him. I love the way links golf sets up for him, particularly Irish links golf. It's I don't know, feels really good, and it just feels like a John Rahm sort of week, which we have not had in far too long. And so that's where I'm at. Solly, where'd you go?
I for a lot of reasons, I Rahm was like my runner-up pick, and he's like where my head actually goes. But I kind of can't get it out of my head, and I just want to. You know what? I'm not going to do that. We're going to take it a different direction. I've got Xander as my one and done pick.
Was that you walking up to the line of taking Tommy? Is that what that was?
It's my one and done pick is Xander. Okay. I've saved him. He's plus 2,500 this week. He's the defending Open champion. I think it's just very easy to picture him being in the mix. He's incredible in major championships. He's not fully all the way Xander back, but he's close enough to where I think he can be competitive this week.
TC, who you got?
You guys know who I got. I called it at the beginning of the year. That's why I've been saving him.
I'm surprised.
The lad.
Immense self-control.
How much discipline that took? Exactly.
Yeah. For the boys that aren't here, Randy is going to be going with who, Cody? He is going to be following Solly with Xander, and our guy Neil is going to be going with Fitz. I love it.
Really?
Cody loving that one as well. What else did you guys see on the FanDuel Sportsbook that you guys liked? Solly, got any plays that you're really just enamored with?
Just, I mean, I think Tommy for a top 5 plus 470 is.
So brave of you.
I think he's going to be right there. I thought those odds would be a little lower than that. And also at any two of Tommy, Xander, and Ludwig to top 10 at plus 290. Yeah, it was fun. And then I got to go with my guy Foxy, first round leader, plus 7,500. I think he gets out and gets after it in round 1. He's a proper player, and just get him on a links golf course. And, I
couldn't have said it better myself. Sorry.
Well, I think for our 3-man top 20 parlay, this was kind of each of us submitting one. I'm going to go with in over there in Links land, young Tom Kim for a top 20. TC's going with Patrick Reed for a top 20, and Solly going with my guy Henley. I actually was going to go with Henley until I saw that you'd already dropped that in the doc. So that's all of those guys to top 20. That adds up to plus 3,800. So we'll see.
Fun.
That is fun. TC, what do you got?
I got a little Cam Smith big leash top 20 parlay. No ties plus 3,350. Odds subject to change, of course. I think it's a great fit for both of them. I think Leash, I misspoke the other day. Leash did not go to qualifying. He qualified via the Australian Open, I believe, as well. So didn't mean to unnecessarily glaze him, but I've got a multi-continent parlay going. I've got Akshay top 20 in ties, the Open Championship, and then Carson Young top 20 in ties at the Barracuda. I got some group plays in there. Cam Smith, Group H, Sergio, Group K, things of that nature. I got a Sepp Straka top 20. I got a Ludwig top 10. I got a special Fleetwood, Xander, Ludwig, all finished top 20 in ties, plus 800. And then I got Hatton bogey-free round 1, plus 1,800.
Some of those bogey-free round 1s were interesting. Actually, I'll pick it up there. I had Morikawa bogey-free round 1, plus 2,000. Like you said, he's trying to emulate the great man, Seve, with Billy Foster on the bag. So who knows? Maybe there's a little bit of a honeymoon phase there. I am going to go with, I'm just getting this on the record. I don't think this is, I'm not putting my mortgage on this necessarily, but Russ Henley to win straight out. Russ Henley to win plus 6,500. I think it's a very good golf course for him and the way he drives the ball and the way he chips the ball. And I don't know. I think he's going to be around. I also had a parlay Morikawa and Rahm to both top 10, including ties. I think both of those guys are going to be in the mix. That's plus 576. And then my last one, I had a round 1 matchups parlay. I like stacking a lot of this action on Thursdays, Fleetwood over Bryson,
okay.
Bobby Mack over JT, and Henley over, I hate this, but Henley over Keegan. That all parlays out to plus 487. So lots and lots and lots and lots of plays over on the FanDuel Sportsbook. You can get very creative, especially in the the wee hours of the morning. It's fun to have a little juice on those guys going out early. Some of those bogey-free round plays or something like that for round one. But
I'm sprinkling Sungjae into some of my fantasy plays. I've got a little sprinkle of Hoagie, some Hatton, some Burger, some Xander.
Just a seasoning.
This is how he does it, where he could come on Sunday and be like, see, I told you
Exactly.
about
JT
Burger.
Poston.
I told you. I
Young
told you
Tom
guys.
Hard on that Estonian kid. He might do something. All right, let's get to the main event. This is, of course, who will win, who won't win. TC, we're gonna start with you.
Who will win? Tommy
Fleetwood, official pick to win.
I think we've got as of a couple hours ago, 4.45% of total market bet wise was on Tommy. He was third behind Victor Hovland and Rory McIlroy, and ahead of John Rahm and Scottie Scheffler, and then 5% of the total stake. Or sorry, he's 5.82% of the total stake is on Tommy right now. So
that's a lot. You might have a guilty conscience for that, TC.
A lot of people are riding with me. They just want to believe in something. Belief and faith is believing without seeing.
Totally.
It's in our hearts. Okay.
And who will not win?
Bryson. Bryson will not win.
Hard to argue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're thinking with these picks, TC. I really don't. I just can't get down with this. If I'll go next, if you'll have it. I have to. He did this. He put his money where his mouth is. He said he hasn't reminded people, but I will remind people this is the last. If Tommy doesn't win, this is the last time TC is allowed to pick him for a major. He's put his name on this. And I'm not going to let him go down solo. I am riding with him. I think Tommy Fleetwood is my official pick to win the Open Championship.
I want to shake your hand.
I was getting ready. I had the clown makeup sitting right here, and I can put it on tomorrow night if it goes poorly. But I think it's time. I'm buying in. I don't know. It's a true heart play, and I just want to be out. I also just kind of want to cover bases. So, for as much as TC is going to crow if he wins, at least I can crow as well. That's kind of a market hedge.
Yeah, because nobody believed in him more than you, Solly.
Correct. Right. If I am able to time,
that's actually a good bit. Yes.
If I'm actually able to time the Tommy Fleetwood hit this well, when you've picked him like 85 times, I'm going to feel really, really good about it.
But I've already bought up all the stock, so and I'm not selling it. I've just been hodling. So
which
you're buying at the top of the market.
I respect. Well, Bitcoin's at the top of the market right now. My pick also to not win is Bryson as well. So TC, it's going to be just you and I riding this one out together.
Man, yeah, that's interesting because I will go next. And actually, before we get there, Tom Dunn, good question. Solly, will you fly to Northern Ireland? If
for sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
God, depending on how much you guys wager, maybe you just fly private together over there. Well, God, now we're in danger of we're in danger of like being clowns for another reason because I'm also going with Bryson to not win, which could blow up in our face spectacularly here. He drives it very long and very straight and plays a very
fun
aerial game, and this is a little bit of a different links golf course, but I color me just a little skeptical still, and I'm going John Rahm to win. I kind of mentioned all of the why behind that, and so there you go. I feel pretty good about those two, so we'll see. Who do we got next? Neil is going to go with Rory to win,
of course,
and Scottie to not win. Just tapping that same vein for the czar. He just can't get enough. I'm gonna guess that's not what Randy is doing with his pick.
No, not at all.
Randy currently out at Cypress Point right now as we speak right now.
Randy is going with Victor Hovland to win and John Rahm as his pick to not win. Me and Randy enemies this week. Much like in our in our Northern Ireland video. Some of our chippy on the course back and forth. But
I do want to remind people too, last year when we did this, of course, at Royal Troon, and we had Troon Carter out there just peacocking, stepping all over the place. Of course, picked Tommy to win, but not a single person, every single selection of NLUs to win missed the cut. So if you're looking for information here, okay.
And I picked Xander not to win.
That's true. Guys, we got anything else? We had a couple quick news and notes. NBC sending more cameras over to try to get a little more of an NBC feel rather than just relying extremely heavily on the world feed. We'll see if that looks any different tomorrow. We've got Wyndham Clark being banned from Oakmont in a release or a statement that went out to members. It sounds like Oakmont is not going to allow him back on the property until he pays for the locker, makes a big giant donation to a charity, and completes anger management counseling or something like that.
Apologized. Moved on.
How the fuck have you not paid for the lock? Like, what?
Incredible.
What are you doing, man? Yeah. Who is advising these people?
Truly incredible.
Ridiculous.
It's just,
I don't know.
I mean, can you imagine? He's qualified for when are they going back there? 2033.
Yeah, which I think is the last year of his exemption.
Yeah,
he's not allowed to play.
Yeah, they should put a time frame on that too. Of like, hey, you got to do it by this date, otherwise, you're gone forever.
It's an interesting
dog.
Yeah, it's an interesting jurisdiction situation. Who supersedes who there? The USGA versus Oakmont, and that's just
he's
something tells me. I don't know. This might be phones. 2 phones coming at him. We've got Gino Bonelli and Joel Damon have split. That sucks. I don't know. I don't have a ton to add other than similar to the Max and Joe split. I think sometimes these things run their course, and it seems like for the sake of kind of remaining friends, you gotta kind of call it at some point. I don't know if you guys have a ton to add there other than golf's probably a little worse off without those two working together.
Yep.
Sully and I were talking about this yesterday a little bit of just seems like there's a lot of high profile splits this year. Some of that could just be natural cycle of things and this generation of kind of golfers getting older. Some of it could just be the money's just really big now. Some of these caddies trying to get on the way up with certain guys versus riding it out another 2 or 3 years with guys that maybe go into the sunset.
It's very interesting. I know, especially it is weird. It is, and it's kind of it's probably a topic for another pod, but even just the way caddying has changed over the last couple years and some of the baked in salaries, and it's just it's a different, I don't know, it's a different world. But only other thing, TC, I don't know if you want to do 30 or 40 minutes on Grant Horvat deciding not to play the Barracuda because he was not allowed to film for the YouTube channel. I have a somewhat sincere take on this, but I don't know if you guys had anything.
Well, I don't have a sincere take other than it sounded like Wesley Bryan was mobbing up on Twitter yesterday.
I reached out to Randy. I should have pushed harder. I wish Randy would have sent us a statement in because this is so up his alley. He follows the YouTube space closer than anybody I know, and we didn't get unable to get a statement from him on that. But what's your take?
Pretty disingenuous.
I would say I don't know Grant at all. I've never really watched any of his videos or any of that, but I have I don't know. I have a strange respect, I think, for a guy who's like, man, the reason I got here is because of YouTube. The reason I got the invite is because of YouTube. I'm trying to do all of this for YouTube followers. And if you're not going to let me do that, then I'm not going to do it. I'm like, that actually kind of feels, I don't know. Maybe there's more to it than that, but it kind of feels more like sticking to your guns than
he accepted it knowing that they weren't.
That's where I don't know how he said, she said necessarily shakes out. I know very top line, the kind of the end product of it, but I think it's pretty fair for him to say I would not have gotten this without my YouTube channel, and so if the YouTube channel is not part of it, then I'm not gonna do it. Cody, I saw you nodding in approval there.
Yeah, cool, man.
I'm legitimately I was just excited to see how he did. I'm kind of bummed he's not going to play. I think it's a fun and interesting storyline when these unrestricted sponsor exemptions go to somebody that's interesting. You might shoot 85, you might shoot 71, who knows? But that's some fun intrigue. I guess I'd say it's minus 20,000 that he'll be playing a live event on a sponsor exemption, like a wild card, and he'll be able to film the whole thing. I mean, that's probably like what happened is Liv swooped in and was like, we'll let you actually film it if you don't go play it. I bet that's probably what's going to happen.
Who knows?
I mean, they're sending Anthony Kim out there. Like, why the hell wouldn't they send Grant Hort? They let him broadcast something on his YouTube channel. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was live. So that's
also
undoubtedly what's coming.
Don't think it's shitty for the tour to say no.
Totally. Yeah,
I know. That's their entire business model.
For sure. Yes, I fully agree. And it's the same reason Bryson couldn't film. It's the same reason Phil couldn't.
I guess the Bryan brothers have been able to do it, and that's where the confusion lies. But I don't know.
It's a rare TC to your point. I feel like it's a rare kind of like I'm good to move on this one, but I understand why Grant said no, and I understand why the PGA Tour said no. So it's like, yeah, maybe it's just not a fit.
Yeah.
Maybe just move on. But
by the way, did you see Rory at the he was accepting some Golf Writers Award over there. I don't know if that's like the British Golf Writers or whatever, or the UK Golf Writers, but Don Ree was sitting in the front row, thirsty ass Don Ree, just cheesing his face off.
He represents the 31,000. Rory's got to answer to the 31,000 too. The sun never sets on Don's empire.
He's the Don.
Of
course, he's sitting in the front.
Guys, before we get out of here, okay, we've got the Czar's gone crazy with another $150 Pro Shop credit giveaway. What's better than seeing the NLU Pro Shop delivery at your doorstep, knowing that you got it with a free credit? We got 2 lucky newsletter subscribers going to be randomly selected to win $150 from the NLU Pro Shop. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the No Laying Up newsletter. You should be subscribed to this anyways. It's a great way to keep up with all the things we got going on, get some exclusive content, get some, expanded captions, more photos from some of the trips you're taking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Weekly updates on the Pro Shop events. Sign up now through Monday, July 21st at subscribe.nolayingup.com/giveaway. Subscribe.nolayingup.com/giveaway. And all those winners will be contacted next week. So, guys, without any further ado, we got anything else?
You waking up early? Who's doing it?
I'll be up fairly early. I'd say
like
probably
out of routine, or
what time does
Chuck's
coverage
waking
start?
up?
Well, I mean, you're on Central too, so it's an hour tougher for you.
Yeah, I'll probably.
What time does coverage start?
5, probably 5:30.
TV coverage starts at 4.
Is it on the cock before then or no?
Yeah, Le Coq, 4 or 4:30, I think. I forget which one.
Okay.
And again, just because maybe TV's not in the cards, maybe you're still laying in bed or something like that with your wife, you don't want to fire up and blow the room out. The best part about the Open, I think, is Open Radio. And you can fire it up whenever you want on the website, on the app, or anything else like that and take it all in. I absolutely love it.
Great point. Guys, I cannot wait. The Open starts tomorrow. Final major of the year. We're going to be live after every round to talk about it. Got a lot of fun segments planned. We got to get your takes in the envelope for tonight, guys. We got to get those over, and we'll review those on Sunday and see how we did. And yeah, guys, I can't wait for another great week.
Let's do it. Go Tommy. Always believe in
Tommy. Listen, I hope he wins too. That would be phenomenal.
You guys are so disingenuous.
I'm with you. It's right here, TC.
FanDuel, the official sports book of No Laying Up, must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. Gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New